Hi everyone, we're going to graph the curve whose parametric equations are given and show its orientation and find the rectangular equation of the curve. So this has e to the t in it, and I forgot to write. Okay, so for this one it should be t is greater than or equal to 0. So the first thing I'm going to do is solve for t, or e to the t. E to the t equals y minus 1. So I'm going to solve here for x. So you get x equals 2 times e to the t, which is y minus 1. So you get x equals 2y minus 2. And to help me graph this, because it's going to be hard to graph if you don't, what I'm going to do is solve for y. So get x plus 2 equals 2y. Therefore, y equals 1/2 x plus 1. That's going to help me graph this. So when I look over here, I'm going to look first at where we're starting. So I'm going to find my first x and y using t. It has to be greater than or equal to 0. So when I plug in 0 here, we know anything to the 0 is 1, so we just get x equals 2. And I'm going to do the same thing for y. Plug in 0. So y equals 1 plus 1, which is 2. So there's where I'm starting. And then from there, I'm just using my slope here and going up 1, because we can go bigger than 0. Up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. So there's your curve. And let me erase this a little. All right, and your orientation, it's the movement is to the right. We're going to the right here. All right, the next one's kind of similar, but it's more of a curve. Now this one, my students have problems with. So basically, we want to solve for e to the t. So what I'm going to do is first solve for y. So x equals e to the t, and y equals e to the negative t. So if I solve for x, what I'm going to do is just do -1 here. So if I rewrite that, this is going to be x to the -1 equals e to the negative t. So basically, I have e to the negative t equals -x. So I have y equals x to the -1. So y equals 1 over x. And generally, you should know what that looks like. 1 over x is something like this. And I forgot to write the parameters. The parameter is t has to be greater than or equal to 0. So basically, we're not even looking at this part of the graph. We're going to see where we're going to start in here with our parameters here. So basically, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and write x equals e to the t, and y equals e to the negative t. And we want t is greater than or equal to 0. Now, basically, when I plug in 0, I get x equals e to the 0, and y equals e to the negative 0, which is just 0. There's not a negative 0, so this is 1. So there's my point there. All right? And so then you can plug in more values, but basically, we already know that this goes like this. Y equals 1 over x. Looks like that. So basically, we're going down this way. But our starting point, because of our parameters, starts here. And our orientation is still going to the right. So we're going to the right there. Okay? Thank you, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.